NFL Week 9. I believe if you're a football fan or a fan of football, then it's easy to agree that Tyreek Hill is the best wideout in the NFL without any question. Yes, there are some really good ones who are stars, but Tyreek is a superstar. After 9 weeks, he has produced 1,104 yards from 76 catches and 3 touchdowns at the halfway point of the season. Nobody in pass that lines up at wideout can do what he does. Now I see why Mr. Hill left Patrick Holmes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Quite frankly, he bet on himself and is playing off humongous dividends for the Miami Dolphins. It also appears the Chiefs and offensive connoisseur Andy Reid underutilized Tyreek's skill set. Now having a quarterback who can throw 75 yards, I believe, is actually helping Tyreek. Most teams don't double team a guy under 20 yards, and while Hill has gotten behind defensive backs this season, Tua simply cannot push the ball down the field, causing Hill to rely on his jack yards after catch, in which he has 339 of those. He is annihilating DBs and making it look easy. As Hill was quoted this weekend, "I'm like a kid in a candy store. I'm just having fun." Devontae Adams was having the game of his life in the first half of the Oakland Raiders game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Adams caught 10 balls on 10 targets for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. He looked unstoppable. Devontae opened up with a catch from the backfield and showed bursts of quickness on his shallow cross and dig, rounding out his second and third catch before his touchdown. Adams caught a slant on fourth down where he killed the DB on his release. During his second touchdown, he kept his vertical stem 20 yards before declaring post, in which Devontae made the safety tumble over himself. But his fate, luck, or just how the Raiders' season has gone, Devontae Adams laid a donut hole in the second half. Of his 7 second-half attempts, I marked him down with 3 drops, including a crucial ball he has to make on fourth down to give his team a chance to tie. Late in the game, I personally think he was gassed during the whole second half. He cruised out of his break and just looked lazy at the top of his route. If there's anything the Raiders can do to salvage the season, I believe it's going to have to start with the wideout core recommitting to excelling the second half of the season, and instead of creating excuses, look for ways to be the solution. The Raiders finish the season with the winning record. Cooper Kupp is a beast. I know all-pro defensive tackle Aaron Donald comes to mind when we talk about who the beasts are for the Los Angeles Rams. But when I look at what head coach Sean McVay and the Rams are asking of Kupp, he has to get the Iron Man award for the team. With a non-existent running game, Kupp aligns in the backfield catching swing routes, which are basically an extension of the run game, and the same for the quick screens he continues to catch, with one almost ruining his season late against the Niners. It was under 2 minutes in a game that had no chance to win. Kupp caught 8 passes for 127 yards and 1 touchdown on a pretty seam pattern where he turned on the Jets, outracing 3 Buccaneer defenders for the Rams' lone touchdown of the day. Justin Jefferson had an easy day at the office. Jefferson caught 7 balls for 115 yards and 1 touchdown. That was one hell of a catch. With the defender draped all over him, Jefferson skied like Jordan for the score in the back of the right end zone. Jefferson looked quick and explosive on some of the quick throw catches he caught and played aggressive all afternoon. There were 3 50-50 balls I feel he should have caught at least 2 of them, and to his credit, he was interfered with on each one. As I prepare to put out my top 3, maybe 4 lists, in which I have shortened down from 10, because in all honesty, if you're not top 3, it's just not that important. But I believe Jefferson is on that cusp of being either number 4 or 1 spot from being a top wideout at the halfway point. Rounding out this week's wideouts who reached the century mark in yards is someone I've never heard of, and this will make perfect sense considering the 2 guys who play in front of him, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, being hurt allowed Josh Palmer of the San Diego Chargers to show coaches what he could do. The second year third round draftee out of Tennessee sure looked as if he belonged. Palmer, listed at 6'1", 210, played even bigger than his body size. His quickness and speed is one thing that jumped out at me immediately. And he had two nice releases on a deep over and hitch route that impressed me as well. I can see the Chargers being a problem in the second half of the season when they're healthy and at full strength. Palmer finished the game with 8 catches for 100 yards and no touchdowns. Hopefully, before the start of Sunday's game, I will have my mid-season top wideouts list done. Wideouts, let's go. Have another great week of playmaking.